And we are live. Welcome along. We're here in Vegas where it is raining at the start of this qualifying session, waiting for the drivers to come out. It is the final round of this season in Formula Aero. I'm here alongside ST for the final time this season, just like I started it with him. So how's it going tonight, ST, and how's this rain going to fuck with qualifying?
Yeah, welcome guys. It's been a long time since I've been here, but glad to be back. We're looking forward to this race, to this qualifying today, and we'll see who wins the championship today.
There's a special guest for tonight's race, the current runner-up in the championship, the guy who needs to win tonight pretty much no matter what. P2 may just secure it for him if Max has a bad race. We've got RB Gaffo from the garage bringing us an exclusive dive into his mind before this session. So how are you feeling coming into this race tonight, Gaffo?
Of course, there's a big mountain to climb. But as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer said, mountains are there to be climbed. So hopefully we can do it today. It's going to be a bit interesting with the weather at the moment. It is to dry up come the end of the session. So hopefully that plays into our hands nicely. But it'll be interesting to see how we get on.
It's going to be a very nice inter-pull bit of the session for you all, which we don't typically see in Formula Aero because we don't have a point for it. But obviously you need to win tonight. Max needs to be P6 or lower for you to have a chance at winning this championship. Are you confident coming into this track? Is this somewhere you might be good?
I'm definitely confident in my own ability around this track, but of course the championship is not in my hands. It's hopefully Max fucks it up is what I need. It's not necessarily that I go and do my job. I need to kind of rely on others as well. So we'll see how we get on. I'm just gonna get out there, do my best, and hopefully everything falls my way.
And obviously, good mate Shano, your teammate, is racing tonight, and just obviously, this is a track that is very straight line dependent. Have you guys had any conversations about the slipstream coming into this qualifying session? Getting a little toe off the back of your teammate to maybe help you secure pole and get away well in this race?
I won't lie, Shane joined the party about 5 minutes ago, so there hasn't been much conversation about that at all. To be honest, I don't even think I've said hello to him yet. So we'll see how it goes in quali, but we'll leave it at that. You'll see. You might see something special on track, but if you don't, it's probably just an occasional or a generational Shane watch is the best way to describe it. So anyway, hopefully I'll see you again after the race, and best of luck with the stream, lads.
Alright, hope to speak to you later, and good luck in this race. You need a lot of bad luck the other way though. We've got MH on the first lap as it stands, coming through sector 1, very tricky in the wet, not quite as easy as you'd like. We've got one of the Saubers sat right behind him, getting an absolutely filthy slipstream off that McLaren, which might just help him in that first and final sector. Purple for the kick Sauber, at least for the time being. We've got a yellow flag in sector 1, some drivers going a bit slowly. But these wet weather conditions are a challenge. A track like Vegas, already extremely low grip as it stands, and we've got a driver already in the wall, and if I don't know any better, it is Shano.
It is.
Big up Shano, already in the wall. We've got MH though. He's coming to the close of his middle sector, and that kick Sauber has not really left the rear of his car, sliding around a bit, but now the slipstream is going to be the filthiest we've ever seen it. This kick Sauber playing some towing games on the back of the McLaren, and this will help skyrocket them both to the top. But this is not the part of the session where you need to be the top. As Gaffo said, drying up later on in the session, so anything can happen as MH slams on the anchors into the chicane. That kicks Sauber going a little deep, but taking a much better line through than MH, and now it's slipstream all the way to the line. Time's going to be in the 40s, but that toe absolutely paying off for whoever is in that kick Sauber behind MH, and it's Is That Me? 7/10 over the next driver. Orabeng goes to the top, reserving for Williams, and Shano
Shano is disqualified from qualifying. Oh no, shame.
I don't have words. Jack Newcastle comes along, P5 as it stands. Metal struggles with EA as always. Goes up there. Yari, who struggles in the wet, goes for a 43.7. Good lap from him. Joker, though, goes P2 and P2 only. A driver we don't really know where to expect at this point. Doing pretty decently well. FaZe Monkey now in the final sector. His lap looks pretty confident. The weather does seem to be easing up slowly but surely. And this time looking very quick from the V-Carb driver. He crossed the line to P4 in an identical time to Is That Me? It's not something we see very often here in Formula Aero. Shamrock will be the next to cross the line. It's a 44.0 from him. And then it's the Red Bull of Bluefoot. He will be the next to take the flag and start his middle part of this session. He crossed the line. It's a 43.181. Just 2,000ths off the back of any competition. Solar actually having to take a downshift in this middle sector. We've got a car spinning. I'm going to assume that that's Yari, who's just spun on that exit, and Solar not having a great time on that exit either. A 106.0 at the end of the middle sector. We've got a very slow Aston Martin on the straight. I'm going to assume that is Real Gomez, but Solar may be looking to pick up a toe off this guy, but just not able to. He's driving a bit too slow for that. Down the long back straight into the final corner. Into the final corners of the lap, and it does look to have dried up. The rain has stopped. As far as I can see, especially on board with the Mercedes, I do not see a single droplet of rain. So soft tyres are going to start to be the play now. Solar is going to come to the line. It'll be a good final sector for him. A 43.7, maybe not the most representative, but these times going to fall away slowly but surely. Gaffo was 7/10 faster than where Solar was at the end of that middle sector, so a chance to maybe stick it to the top, but it's a very poor run through the chicane at the end of the lap, and a very minimal amount of battery for the Ferrari driver. And I think rightly so pulls into the pits. It is drying up, and I think the softs are going to start to be viable. If we see anyone on an outlap, I think we're going to start seeing those soft tyres being strapped onto the cars. Shamrock is going to complete another effort though. It's a 42.8. I don't think that's too representative at the time, because the track conditions will only improve from here. 3 drivers already selected softs for the next run, but who is going to be the first to dare to step out onto the track in these conditions? As Fozzie's goes fastest for now though, because there are times about to fall all the way down. Now ST, I think you'll know this quite well from your experiences. What's it going to be like switching from that wet to dry in this qualifying session? Obviously, grip won't be perfect, but you know better than anyone what struggles you might encounter.
Yeah, of course, the traction is going to be very, very difficult for some drivers. Yes, Jack Engels, he goes fastest. And the grip, it's already difficult to drive here on Las Vegas, and now in these conditions it's going to be very tricky for some drivers. Like Yari, who's driving without traction control, so I'm really excited now to see these laps and how these guys are going to do.
Yeah, I was on board with Orabang right now. His Joker goes fastest with a 40.1. If that is anything to go by. I did just take a little screenshot. Yari's come out on Inters for some reason. I think he's going to be straight back in and strapping on a set of dry tyres. But definitely no one on the stream just saw me take a screenshot of Jack Newcastle at the top. Obviously on a very much drying track. But the times will continue to fall around this lap. And Orabang actually taking it very easy on this outlap, which I'm not surprised about. You want that maximum grip when you come into your lap, and maybe cold tyres and sacrifice will have to be made just to have a bit more adhesion when you come and start hitting perfect laps together. Joker still out there on Inters, but I'm sure he'll be into the pits anytime now. Let's take a look at Yari. He has burned his battery. He is coming into the pits at the end of this lap. Jack Newcastle said in the chat, God's sake, it's wet again. It's not wet anymore, Jack, but at least of the Intus runs, you were the fastest. I think Yari is at danger here of not getting 2 runs in. And I think that's something he needs to pay attention for now. That he's got 8 minutes 20 to go, he's getting wheeled into the garage, and issues can occur with that. F1 Kia connected and then disconnected, so unlucky for him. But through the first couple of corners, Orabang looking majorly confident here. Actually, some great adhesion already for the Williams driver. That slow out lap helping him with all his might. Jack saying, send me that screenshot. On the brakes though, into turn 3. I don't know my corners around this track, and it's 3 seconds up already. Now that you're on those soft compound tyres, it's 27 in that first sector, so the times are definitely going to continue to fall after this. Shano leaves after a disappointing backwards end to his qualifying by being disqualified, but Orabang's grip already looking so much better than it did before the rain stopped falling. Through the middle sector split, he's looking on track right now for maybe a 34, and those times aren't fully representative. He's going to be able to open the DRS. He's a bit lower on battery than you'd expect for this point in the lap. He's going to drain what he has left now on the brakes though into the final chicane. It's very tricky to get right. That inside curb wants to drag you in but wants to throw you out at the same time, but it's good traction, it's good adhesion. He is coming towards the line now. What time is he going to be able to achieve coming through the final corner? It's a 33.1, and that is the benchmark here. Got a few more drivers coming to the line. Gaffo 32.8, MH at 32.5, Quali Merchant MH coming out to play. Bluefoot were on board with a very strong qualifier at times, and he is going to come pile driving through the final corner, and that is a 32.1. That is the gauntlet thrown down. Max hasn't set a lap yet, but it's a 26.2 in the first sector. That is competitive if I've ever seen it, and I might be scared that I might have lied earlier about a 31 being the lowest time. We might drop into the 30s come the end of this session. He's going to come across this middle sector split now. 56.0 for Max, the championship contender. No one else apart from the top 4 have set dry times yet, but Max certainly one to pay attention to, setting laps here. And we do have Billy Whiz across the line. It's a 32.2 from him. I can't say 32.2 to save my life. Massive smashing across the curbs for Max, but he looks aggressive. He looks confident in that car. The rear light flashing on the back of that V-carb. What's he going to be able to do as he crosses the line? It's a 31.1, and that is a gauntlet laid down by the V-carb driver. And that is a time everyone needs to be aiming to beat. FaZe Monkey 31.8. Barely able to get close to these times. Yari is in the first sector setting laps as it stands. Who is our next driver across the line? It's one of the Mercedes, probably Solar. He's kept it valid, he's kept it clean, flings it through the final corner. It's a 33.1. Puts him second slowest of the dry runners, but the times still have plenty of time to fall. Looks like they've got slow Fozzies, maybe. No, it's someone is slow in that final sector. I have no idea who the next cross the line is. It's going to be Metal. 32.5 for him. 31.9 for John's boy as he comes across the line. We've got one of the Ferraris coming into the pit lane. And who are we looking at as our next across the line? It's Fozzies. Massive frame rate drop for me for some reason. Fozzies is just that good at the game. Goes P5. Equal terms with his teammate pretty much. Shamrock will come and cross the line very shortly. Is that me? Jumps himself up to P8. Shamrock crosses the line. P6 for him. Very interesting battle for P4 as it stands in terms of the times. Yari has not been able to set or finish his lap on this soft compound tyre. He is boxing at the end of this lap, but Joker, rapid as always, is going to be trying to lay down some major benchmark here. Solar is on the back straight just in front of him, and it will be an absolute sweat fest of a slipstream for Joker down the back straight. And he opens up the DRS now. He is going to be carrying so much more speed than anyone else has been able to And he's going to be able to slam hard on the brakes now into the final chicane. Looks to be handling those curbs beautifully, better than anyone I've seen so far. And he is going to be absolutely steaming towards the line. He's got all the battery in the world to finish this lap. I'm sure it'll be very good here, but it's only P2 in the end. I thought he maybe stood a chance of a 31, but nothing able to happen. Of a 30, sorry, but nothing able to happen from the Alpine driver. Something going very wrong on his lap. As we've got Real Gomez and F1 Kian as our next couple of drivers on outlaps, and F1 Kian has had a very torrid time of it so far this session. Unable to really get anything going for himself. As Joker, actually. Is he fueled? Joker, that's his final lap in qualifying. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think the time is there to get a lap together. Real Gomez will be starting his final effort in qualifying. Has time to back out if he needs to, but needs a lap on the board and needs one quickly, because Real Gomez still in the 45s from his intermediate times, but he's been scoring some consistent points recently. And it's time as he goes down towards turn 3, hard on the brakes, gets the car flicked in pretty nicely there, straightens up, and it's a 26.4 in the first sector. I can tell you for a fact that is not a purple sector 1. We've seen 26.1s already in this session, and Real Gomez just left, right, left through the Las Vegas spear, the hoofs, the front hoofs of the upside down pig, if you will. And he is going to be absolutely storming now. Hard on the brakes into the right-hander to start the Las Vegas strip. Keeps it off both those curves as we see a Sauber miles wide on that exit. And now it's flat out all the way down towards the final corner. He is very low on that battery. So this could be absolute tears for him. Joker definitely not getting a lap together now. There is an Alpine backwards or slow, and I'm assuming that might be Yari. Especially if it was him backwards, because I know what he's like. He will spin a hell of a lot. And Real Gomez will be coming now towards the line. What time can he set as his only lap time on those slicks? It's only a 32.2. And with times dropping the way they are, issues could be caused. F1 Kian did a decent first sector time. Bluefoot is starting his lap. I'm trying to see who we're on. As our next across the line, it is looking like it's MH to be our next contender to set up a representative lap time on these soft compound tyres. He needs something special. 32s are not going to cut it if you want to be high up there on the grid. You've already seen that from Max, from Joker, from FaZe Monkey and John's Boy. In still recovering conditions, MH is going to fly to the line. It's a 31.5, it's P2, but only provisionally. Gaffo has started his final lap and he's found 8/10 in Sector 1, but the time does not look very good. It was only a 26.6 in the first sector. What has he prioritised in this setup? What is he going to be able to do? Hit his foot flat to the floor now, and he needs something special. His title rival is currently on pole and is starting his final effort. He's going to have to be hard on the anchors, flick the car left, straighten it up, and what's he done in the middle sector? It's only a 56.6. He is not in good shape right now. He does not look like he's on for pole in the race that could decide whether he wins this championship or has to fade away into irrelevance for a bit. The checkered flag is out. Bluefoot goes P4. It's a 31.6 for him. Joker unable to get anything else done, and Gaffo still struggling over those curves in the final sector. He is really down on time right now. He needs something magical, but with the battery fully depleted for the lap, it's not going to happen for him. It's only a 32.2, and it's only P10. FaZe Monkey crossed the line. It's P4 for him. The time did come in the end for the driver. Real Gomez is going to pull into the pits to end his session. Orabeng goes 6th. Billy Wiz, he's going to cross the line. It's P9 for him. And the pain keeps getting worse and worse for Gaffo as times continue to tumble. Metal goes P7. He has a 5-place grid drop to serve. Post-session, Gaffo is down to 14th and safely is 14th. but there's still more people. MH has invalidated his lap time. What does Max have in it on this final lap? Extremely low battery. Gaffo saying he forgot to switch to fresh tyres. It's not good from him. Max crosses the line. It's a 31-1. Once again, MH unable to improve. We just saw someone improve. I didn't see who exactly. I'm trying to guess. It's probably Fozzie's in the Red Bull. Shamrock, sorry, up to P9. 31.9 from him. And Gaffo forgot to change onto fresh softs, and that is it, unfortunately. And qualifying may be over. Max is going to be one very happy camper here. 4 tenths ahead of the rest as it stands, and his championship rival a mile out the points before it starts. We will be back in about 10 to 15 minutes for the race start after a quick lobby reset. And the formation lap is underway. Max leads the grid away for what is the final formation lap of the season. But what we do have to bring to you is the only reason we are doing a formation lap today. The championship permutations for both the drivers and the constructors here. We'll have a quick tyre talk in a minute. But Max, if Gaffo wins, Max has to finish P5 to win the championship here. He finishes P6 with Gaffo winning. That is championship over. Gaffo can finish P2 in this race, and if Max finishes P9, then he wins the championship. I think I just saw Bluefoot disconnecting already. Unlucky. Is he actually just like fully disconnected? He actually might have just like fully game crashed or something, because he is not on my list. In the constructors, if VCarb score a point, they win the championship. That is it. They have 43 points over Ferrari, but on countback Ferrari would win if it ends up level on points. But Shane and Gaffo would need an absolute miracle of a race for that to happen. In terms of tyres, Max and MH starting on the medium, Joker on the hards, FaZe and Bluefoot on the medium, but Bluefoot may just be slightly disconnected from this session. Orabank will be on the hards, then Fozzie, Sham, Johnsboy and Kian all on the mediums, Billy Wiz on the hards, Metal and Yari on the medium, Gaffo on the hards. Is That Me, Real Gomez, Jack Newcastle, Solar and Shayna right at the back, pulling a Sunny Hayes apparently, all on the medium as everyone up front gets ready to assume their grid spots, and MH and Joker both failed to set their grid spots correctly. 10 out of 10 from you guys. Bluefoot looks like he's well, that Red Bull there looks a mile out of place, but that's probably because of the camera angle we have him on. John's boy gets the next disqualification. Kian, Billy Wiz, Metal, Yari looks to be pulling in quite nicely. Gaffo needs something to happen here. Bluefoot does make it back. Hopefully he can take control just before the start. Gaffo not giving himself any advantages. And Shano, last man to the line. Man that needs a result today for Ferrari to get that Constructors, a team that was so confident going into the season on what they could do. But we are getting ready here in Vegas, the final opportunity of the season, and it's going to be 5 lights. And away we go for the final time here in Vegas. It looked like a decent start for Max, but MH seemed to get away pretty well too. Into turn 1, Max takes the lead. In P2, MH just keeps the position. Joker is wheel to wheel with FaZe Monkey. In the next spot, Gaffo up a few places on lap 1, but Max takes the lead and continues to lead here in Vegas. Shano making up a few places at the back. Further front though, John's boy up the inside of Orabang, his teammate taking P6 for the time being, but the switchback is very much possible on that exit. A little bit of argy-bargy in the background as Metal is looking at it on Shamrock. And Billy Wiz and Kian wheel to wheel. Kian having a great little start to this race, and Gaffo really needing something to happen. Shano already, I think, backwards, and a few drivers actually involved in a little incident here. Solar and Shano, unfortunate for them. Gaffo stuck behind Kian and Billy Wiz, wheel to wheel through this sweeping S section, but on the brakes hard. They're getting it turned in nicely onto the Las Vegas Strip as Max already with a beautiful gap out in front. But Kian, is he going to be able to, on debut in Formula Aero, only joined a couple days ago, do anything? Gaffo on the outside here of Kian is looking to make up a place. Can he make up two in his charge to maybe get back the championship? It's going to be looking to go 3 wide. Nothing happening with that. Gaffo and Billy Wiz wheel to wheel through the sweeping left, right, left of the final sector, and Gaffo makes up the place, and Kian follows him through. Who is going to be able to do anything here? Joker dropping another place here. Kian and Gaffo wheel to wheel. It's going 4 wide towards turn 1. Bluefoot smartly enough backing out of it, but they're 3 wide still and 2 wide, and Kian making the mistake. He has dropped out, and that is very unfortunate for the McLaren's first race, as Gaffo, P10 now, needs a miracle. MH gets cleared by FaZe Monkey here, and Kian retires from the session, retires on track by some miracle. Not a safety car as it stands. Unfortunate for the McLaren driver. Makes it 2 laps in to his first race here in Formula Aero. Is out in front. The V-Carbs doing what Ferrari need to do. A 1-2 for them, and Max has a rear gunner in very good contention right now to do something. The top 3 have all broken DRS from 4th place Fozzie's, and that is not what Gaffo needs in his race. But is FaZe Monkey going to leave the gloves off here, or is he going to take it a bit easier? He knows it's his teammate. He knows his teammate wants to win this championship, and they both can easily win the Constructors. Metal in the background, getting past Shamrock very early on the straight. It's not what the Irish driver in the Aston needed, and Joker is very wide, and that's in the way of Shamrock there, and more crucially, it's going to give Gaffo a great chance on DRS. Joker having an absolute wallaby. Tim from URC telling Solar to kill Gaffo and fails by killing Shano instead. Tim, I know he was your driver, but unlucky, son. Gaffo clears Joker and is now right back in this fight towards the front. Billy Wiz and Is That Me battling it out a little bit further back. Gaffo needs something to go right for him. I'm sure him and Shamrock are going to be playing together. It's not going to be an instant if Shamrock just lets Gaffo slip by him, but Sham also going to want something to happen here. Real Gomez looked to make a big mistake into that right-hander at the end of the first straight, and unfortunately dropping a lot of places. Yari still stuck in 14th. That's all I've got to say for him. Back to actual things that matter. We're watching the P2 driver in the championship currently not where he needs to be for anything to go well for him this race. Orobeng is in a good spot right now. He's caught right onto the back of Fozzie's in the Red Bull as Gaffo gets past Shamrock. I'm sure as hell that Shamrock isn't fighting back against the Ferrari, and I can tell you for a fact, we can see on board nothing's happening. Orobeng clears Johnsy Boy. Johnsy Boy clears Orobeng again. The DRS share for the Williams continuing on further forward. But Gaffo needs to do some great work in this final sector and into the first sector to keep that DRS to Metal, but he has a very angry looking Alpine on the back of him. Same tyres for the both of these guys. One of them was a lot more aggressive on the warm-up. Into turn 1, Joker not able to do anything. And more critically, MH dropping out of that DRS from the front few as well, so they're running away like rabid animals out in front, and nothing is really getting done from behind. John's boy gets up to P4 now. That is what he wants. Williams having a good end to their season right now. It's what they want. They've had a very poor run of form recently. Their last 4 have been DNF, 4-10, 12 DNF and 8 DNF. So better things happening here. Solar is well off in the runoff. Somehow alive. He must have made a mistake. There is a safety car out, and it'd be interesting to see what happens here. Technically, and I don't have the data on hand, so apologies for the pause here, because I don't have my phone on hand, as I typically would. Just going to scroll down and check some data real quick. Technically, the hards can go to the end. So, thoughts on that, ST?
Yeah, that's very good for the medium starters, but not good for Gaffo. This race really not going in his way, and I don't know what he's going to do, really. Max has the free stop now, so does FaZe Monkey, so I think the Constructors is as good as all.
Max hasn't boxed. Max has not made the pit stop.
Oh, he's
John's boy
staying,
commits. Fozzie's commits. Orobeng commits. Just keeping an eye on this pit entry line. Gaffo stays out, so a split of strategies down the grid here.
I think Max should have pitted.
Some not. I think those top 3 should have made a pit stop here. And I hope that that was a Yari strategy call and not him seeing my DMs telling him to box, because I did also make sure to tell him that, because he's a bit of a strategy Belgian on this, doesn't really know what to do. I mean, slow isn't the word I call him, but slow is definitely a word that could be used. Alpine P13 though, fresh tyres for the Alpine, and we saw this in Mexico, ST. You weren't obviously there. Solo tyres in the pit lane. His race is done, but we saw this in Mexico, ST. Yari took a hard tyre that could theoretically do 26 for pretty much the whole race distance. Do you think he can repeat that performance today and get himself up the field by just being better on tyres than anyone else?
Yeah, I think so. If he can do it in Mexico, I think he can do it here in Las Vegas too. The tire wear isn't as bad as in Mexico here, so he can definitely do it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you've not raced Mexico since the tyre update, so I will tell you that the hard is harder than the last time you raced Mexico properly.
Alright.
Oh no!
Wow, I'm inviting you.
Oh, this is incredible stream chat. Luckily, it's a safety car. Orabeng and ST immediately on it. Good fucking fellas, man. They see I've disconnected and instantly invite me. 10 out of 10. I'm going to accept Orabeng's invite because he's on Steam, ST, okay? It's nothing against you. He's on Steam. He's probably more reliable.
Orabeng shouldn't do that. He's on AI.
I don't give a flying fuck, ST. He's doing it for a good reason. So, yeah, oh my days. Stream, we will be right back with hopefully a fixed stream. Okay, we're back. The lobby. Well, the disconnection issue. Very unfortunate. Let's pray that this isn't my accommodation Wi-Fi falling to absolute pieces, because I can tell you it does that sometimes, but it never has on a Monday night when I've needed it. It never has on a Monday night when I've needed it to survive. And on the most important Monday night of all, we see one big change for the championship right now. Gaffo, who started P14, is in P4 as it stands. Didn't make a pit stop under that safety car. But will he fall to any threats from behind? The safety car is in this lap. I think I'm missing, unfortunately, ST, system notifications about that, unless I'm just blind. It's a massive slam on for Max as everyone slows up for this safety car restart. Will Gomez and Jack Newcastle having a few issues towards the back. They resort their order very quickly. Max will be controlling the field. He will be praying that Gaffo's tyres are cold. And he launches very early. And FaZe Monkey is extremely slow to launch. And this has held everyone up. Is this a tactic from the V-Carbs? As towards turn 1 we go. Billy Wiz and Joker battling it out. Billy Wiz is very far up the inside. He's got past Gaffo. John's boy has followed it. Is that me? Retires. Must have been in the wall. And they're all side by side through the right-hander. Gaffo got wing damage in that. That is not news that he needed. There is a virtual safety car out on track. And was that actually wing damage for Gaffo? I don't know if I see any on my end.
His end plate is missing.
It is. Right, he's missing the right end plate. The most important one around this track, really. For turn 1 in this corner they're going through right now. And the Ferrari driver will be absolutely fuming in the helmet. This is not what he needed as he comes to complete his championship. Is that me? Retires at turn 1 on the safety car restart, and more crucially, Gaffo has already lost places that are very important to him in this race. And that is absolute shambles. Is that me? Is already typing in the chat. He says, "You're on your own, Jack." Was that some contact between the two of them? Let's bloody hope not. Gaffo trying to get a big launch on the restart. Actually gets past Orabeng momentarily as everyone's slow. Was Gaffo trying to time that to beauty? And was he failing at doing so? Everyone is flat out now down the Vegas Strip. Because realistically, if you're in none, you've got to be flat out down there regardless. But when is this safety car going to come in? Who is going to misjudge it? No one has. Everyone actually survives the VSC restart. Fozzie's Joker is miles down, and there's been a big incident at the hairpin at the end of the Vegas Strip, and Joker, the big loser here, losing wing, losing a lot of places, and everyone is falling to bits. Jack Newcastle is fighting Yari for P8 on track here. And into turn 1, Metal is going to have a look around the outside. Fozzies is looking up the inside. Fozzies is backwards. Contact with Shamrock. Fozzies and Shamrock facing towards each other. More contact, more damage for all these drivers as the race starts to fall apart. Shano is up to P11. This is promising for his race. Bluefoot retires in the pit lane. Joker, I'm sure, may try and do the same. Not very happy. Jack Newcastle looking up the inside there of Fozzie's. Joker retires in the pit lane. Unlucky, we're down to 14 already in this finale. As John's boy up the inside of Billy Wiz. Very audacious look for him, but gets the move done. Gets it stuck, more crucially. But everyone towards the back having shambles. And
Gaffo has no wing.
Gaffo is missing his whole front wing. The championship contender of RB Gaffo missing his whole wing, touches the wall there. That is dangerous for the Ferrari, but he needs to keep pushing. He needs to make it to the pits, and then he needs to pray for some absolutely incredible luck to befall him in this race. The championship is almost out of reach for this guy at this point. Nothing looking right into the chicane. Can he get it stopped? Barely. Has to probably take a warning there. Hits the wall again, and he is not in a good spot. Orabeng is all over the back of his teammate. Yari gets past Gaffo. No surprise there. The championship contender in absolute fury right now. Shano's picked up a 3-second penalty, I believe. Don't know how that happened, but Gaffo is in the pits and retires from the session. That is championship over
for Max.
Gaffo. Nah, I'm done. Max has secured the championship. He could retire right now, and it's done. But that is absolute catastrophe. Shano is off in the runoff where Solo was before, having to reverse out. Please don't get yourself disqualified, Shano. We know what happened last time. Somehow, I think he's TC off. Honestly, that flick spin was very no traction controlly. But John's boy with MH, and MH makes contact with Orabeng. They're both sideways. Billy Wiz now sideways. There's wing damage, and Billy Wiz somehow surviving that. MH picked up a bit of wing damage here, and there is some absolute chaos in Vegas. There is a Sauber slowly driving a lap because for some reasons Joker's car isn't having fun. Gaffo saying, Billy Wiz, you have brakes on your car, by the way. So what happened there? Because something is making them very annoyed as it stands. Shano is a mile back towards the back. Shamrock and Fozzies are duking it out right now. Fozzies doesn't seem to have the battery. Joker's car is what the hell, driving extremely slowly on the racing line. Let's see if Shano aims for it. He'll see the slow moving Alpine, and I would love to see this guy just absolutely pin missile into the back of him, and there we go. Wing completely destroyed on Shano's car. 10 out of 10. Would watch you again. Billy Wiz is into the pits. Needs a new front wing here. But not good for Ferrari as it stands. Owl's Joker. Very unhappy.
On P7. We could see some points for him today.
I'm sorry. I just need to... Yeah, we're going to get a pause for a second in game, guys. Jack NUFC has started 8 of the 10 races that have happened so far. In 6 of those races he has started, he has DNF'd. In the other 2, he has been P15 and P13. Shano retires in the pits. Why would you retire in the pits, Shane? Get out on track. Cause a safety
It's not
car,
Shano
please.
worthy.
But Yari now, very much closing in on MH, will probably get DRS on this straight as well. It's exactly what the Alpine needs to try and get back into a race after a poor qualifying. Some absolute chaos has occurred, meaning that Yari now could get himself up the positions. And honestly, kudos to him if he does. The 2 V-carbs are doing some absolute work, by the way. 9-lap-old mediums,
Jack.
they've took from the starts, doing very well. Has Jack done an oopsie?
No, but he almost spun the real Gomez.
We don't think about that, SD. Jack is in the points.
Real
Okay, this
Gomez
is a
is
new
also
experience.
in the point.
Real Gomez is P6. What is this? Shamrock
I cannot
is slow,
believe it.
pulling into the pits. I think that's race over for the Aston Martin
He's gonna get
on
points.
screen right now.
Just
I think
bring it home,
everyone
Jack.
that finishes is going to get points at this rate. Max is going to be under threat, though, from a very angry-looking Williams who just went up the inside of his teammate. And now, FaZe Monkey no longer the rear gunner for the V-Carb team, the Williams team, who looked absolutely nowhere before this race and might be trying to challenge Ferrari here. For the next place in the Constructors, it's wheel-to-wheel from Max and John's Boy into the right-hander, and John's Boy, the easiest clear of his life. And now Williams and V-Carb all together now, ready to fight it out for the top spot. On board with the only real contender here, FaZe Monkey. Both V-Carbs on similar battery. Max is going to get DRS, he's going to get a beautiful slipstream and will clear the Williams driver for now. But he's a little bit deep into the corner. Metal gets past Jack Newcastle. He's still on the points. There's no panic. And into the pits they must go. At least for Max. FaZe Monkey has to stay out for one more lap. What can he do against the Williams driver? He's going to take a look into turn 1. It's caused him to go a bit wide now. Max wants to retain this lead here. And funnily enough, Yari's up to P4, by the way. Started like, I think, behind, just in front of Gaffo and his P4. Absolute scenes here.
Harry has some good chances tonight.
Yeah, where does Max come out? He comes out in a bit of clean air, but only 2.6 seconds to the, I don't know what to call him. The GOAT.
The GOAT.
The Newcastle Minister of Shambles. Something like that.
That's a good name.
Yellow flag in Sector 3. Shamrock is backwards. And Shamrock's got wing damage. Shamrock might have a puncture, honestly. How his car's leaning. No, it's not a puncture.
Went straight into the wall and lost the wing.
Fozzies?
Yes.
Interesting. He was going through a corner and he hit a wall. 10 out of 10. But he's got Billy Wiz behind him. Billy Wiz and Fozzie. Oh, that's some aggressive defense from Fozzie. Sham retires in the pit lane. He's being a good boy. FaZe Monkey up the inside of John's Boy. Will take back the lead for the time being, but he's got some very, very angry looking opposition behind him. FaZe Monkey is going to pull into the pits. He's going to be a respectable human being and do it the way that everyone's told him to before the race. Will Gomez, oh, he's just got overtaken by Metal. Okay. I was going to say, Max seems to have easily cleared Jack Newcastle here. Will he get out in front of his teammate? That's no question, actually. FaZe Monkey is going to fall behind the Newcastle wall of defence, or shambles, whatever you want to call him. Fozzie's pulls into the pits because he needs a new wing. And now Williams are actually in a very happy little position here. 1-2 for them. And it's all blue in the top 3. Williams from Alpine. And there's a Haas there that's probably not going to join the fray because Metal looks kind of washed around this track. He's not even pulling away from Real Gomez. who has scored precisely 2 points this season, and both of them...
Did he?
Yeah, Real Gomez, has he scored 2 points? I swear he has. Where's Real Gomez on my championship chart? Yeah, he scored 2 points. He scored in Australia and Singapore. Real Gomez, 10 out of 10, would drive for you again. Orabang here on the back of John's boy. These guys are both reserves, so, you know, gloves off for these guys. They're probably going to have an absolute ding-dong here, but no, they're not. Orabang is going to be respectful. And just...
on his comeback. He did his comeback, or did he race last?
John's boy was racing Tier 1, and Tier 1
No, I mean Orabang.
Orabang raced Tier 1 as well, so come back for Orabang. But there's a reason these two guys raced Tier 1, because they were very good. Max is on the back of Metal now. What can he do? Just a quick check on the tyre situation. Oldest tyres on the grid are John's boys, Orabang's, Metal Medals, and Yari's, and Jack Newcastle's as well. Real Gomez is on that train as well. Youngest tyres for Fozzie's, FaZe Monkey, and Max, who are all on very low tyre wear. And here goes Max, easy as you like, getting past Metal. Now he's got 6 seconds to close down to everyone's favourite Alpine driver, unless he just somehow bins it in this corner. Doesn't matter too much to Max, to be fair, because he could DNF right now and everything would be fine for him.
Is Yari really everyone's favourite
Ghosting
Alpine
wasn't
driver?
turned off. I could swear to God that I turned off ghosting. I turned off ghosting. Look at this. It's turned off. I don't know what's going on. But everything going to shambles because apparently EA can't code a game right. But that's fine. Because, yeah, it's meant that the championship is now, no matter what, the guy on our screens right now is going to win the championship no matter what. And because both Ferraris are out, the title will also go to VCarb. So, GG's to this VCarb team. They've done very well this season to do everything they want. FaZe Monkey's actually not looking very good on these hards right now. John's boy into the pits before his teammate. Into the pits before his teammate, but he was on the hards. Question mark, exclamation mark. Or as it's actually called, an interrobang. Not joking. Max, I'm looking to close in on Yari right now. John's boy comes out of the pits P7, will get an instant bit of DRS off Max's teammate, who's really going to be acting as a full-on rear gunner towards the end of this race. If Orabang takes these mediums to the end, I will retire from commentary forever. I have been pinged in server management, yet again, ghosting was not turned off apparently. Migrating host, who disconnected? Shamrock did. He was the old host apparently. Because I disconnected because my network was shambles. Good job, that looked very slow from someone. I think I was on board with Yari going through a corner. I was like, what the hell's going on here? FaZe Monkey finally clears Real Gomez. Good job to you, but that's actually put a car between him and John's boy, and if Real Gomez has any semblance of... Okay, yeah, what did I expect? What did I expect? Yeah, Real Gomez does not have battery management.
Oh,
Jack NUFC has overtaken MH on track, but MH has got that thing called DRS that allows overtakes more easily. Jack, 3 years back, does not go for the dive bomb. He's gotten a bit better at this. Orabang into the pits. He must go. And now Yari does assume the lead of this race. The gap 3.6 back to Max in the VCarb. Both of these guys on hards, but one drivers are significantly older. Now, if Max and Yari are good mates, right? This is just a random thought that came into my head, and you know they might not be. But who really cares? My question is there the chance that Max lets Yari pick the win here?
Oh, no. I think Yari wants to win.
Interesting. It would be... Well, if Max is nice to Yari, Max will let Yari win. But Max also has a substantial amount of battery advantage here. Metal and John's boy, by the way, and FaZe Monkey all in a little cluster here. I'm sure Metal will be cleared like a Porsche 911 going around a Fiat 500 here, because Metal, no DRS, got a decent bit of battery in the car, but it's going to be a hell of a lot slower. It's DRS absolute chicken here. Johnsboy ends up in the lead of this trio, but who got the DRS? And did Johnsboy get it? Johnsboy didn't, Metal didn't, but the only one who actually did was, of course, FaZe Monkey, and there's contact there. Metal with a bit of wing damage. FaZe Monkey gets through unscathed, as does Johnsboy, but Metal won't be happy about missing a bit of his front wing, and that's a 5-second penalty, Metal.
And that's a position for Jack and UFC. Oh, is it? I don't think it is.
I think he's just too far back, ST. You know, not by much, but just a little bit. But it does depend if Metal does change his whole front wing. Oh, you said, oh no, what's happened?
Jack has got a 3-second penalty.
Oh no!
What I wanted to say earlier, I'm really proud of this Week Cup team. They did what me and Johnsy Boy, mostly me, couldn't do last season, so I'm happy to see my team up front in Season 2.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, ST, you were kind of alone for most of the season. So,
yeah,
it did make sense that you couldn't do it all on your own, but it was close between Williams then. Williams fell away this season, quite tragically, after being up there early on in the season. But
yeah,
this race...
Lucas Spurs switched away from controller.
Oh, is that what made him washed?
Yes.
Oh! I was wondering why he became so crap all of a sudden. Like he was fighting for wins and then all of a sudden he fell away. Vinny, thanks for coming in. I don't think Max is going to let Yari win. Johnsboy gets past FaZe Monkey, but it's going to be wheel to wheel, and FaZe Monkey, I think, safely backs out of that. Max, I think the commentator's favourite driver to both clown on and support at the same time is going to get overtaken. Orabang got the fastest lap. Yeah, I couldn't tell you. The stream is absolutely scuffed because I had one disconnection earlier. Good game.
How many points does Max have if he wins?
Max will have, let me run the numbers here, +5 is 43, +20, so he'll have 163 points if he wins, which will lead to a 31-point gap.
Points for Jack.
Metal retires. Jack, finish this race if it's the last thing you do, man. Metal retires in the pits. Probably got more wing damage, to be fair. Oh my days. What has Max done to the battery? Here oh! What tactical! Oh, I love this man sometimes. He goes tactical. He is getting that sweaty tree and DRS. It doesn't matter if you'll catch him. ST, you don't understand. This is all game. And Max has burnt the entire battery!
Oh my god.
Yari had an actually abhorrent run through there, taps the wall. Honestly.
No wing damage.
No wing damage. I think Yari might need to make a pit stop there. I don't think those tyres are holding up as well as my data apparently says they can. FaZe Monkey is on the back of Johnsboy. And is this a look into turn one? It is. He's going for it up the inside of the Williams driver. It's a big wobble on for the V-Carb, who does eventually get the move done. Yari's in an absolute shit show of it. And now he's got 3 of the fastest drivers on the track, all swarming him at the same time. It's 3 wide. Yeah, Yari's in the middle, but he makes it out somehow. He's doing the impossible and making it out on top after being in the middle of a 3 wide situation. Metal, FaZe Monkey and Johnsboy, as Johnsboy picks up a 3 second, are still going at it. And Johnsboy looking up the inside of Yari. They're going to be wheel to wheel. I told Yari this might happen to him, and it actually did in the race. I'm so glad it did. But there's so much wobbling on the back of that Alpine. Is it 3 wide in the background? There's contact. Orabang in the wall. Johnsboy in the wall. There's damage. And it's all falling apart towards the end of this race. There's more contact as FaZe Monkey is forced over the curb, and here comes Arbeng now, getting past FaZe Monkey, up into P4, and now it's going to be absolute slipstream fest down the straight. Who's going to be able to get it done? FaZe Monkey and Mr. Arbeng is still going wheel to wheel towards the end of this back straight, but also John's boy should easily clear Yari here if Yari can't get up the inside.
Yari.
A little bit of wheel banging, but Yari and FaZe, Yari and John's boy still wheel to wheel. But Yari has an absolute wallaby of it, and he's backwards. Mr. I spin all the time is back in the wall, and surely this is an into the pits moment as he is like practically blocking this entire track right now.
Jack against MH.
Oh, and Jack, is he going to clear MH? He doesn't have the battery, my guy. MH actually has a battery charge. Yari, please, just fit a set of softs. Go to the end, man. You're chilling. You're chilling. Yari, falling apart at the last minute. It's been such a good race
he got
for
10
him.
seconds. Yari's got 10 seconds.
Let's have a moment of silence on the stream to the point that I'm going to mute my desktop audio for Yari getting a 10-second. Alright, back from the crying about Yari. Going from P2 to P10. Jack NUFC is currently on for a P8 in this race. And actually, let's take a quick look at the tyres. No, he's not going to beat MH. Unlucky. Billy Wiz might actually need to make another pit stop here. Okay? Let's not rule this out. He's on 10-lap all mediums. And they could fall apart any moment. Arbeng gets past John's boy here on the back straight. No surprise there. FaZe Monkey with wing damage, kind of falling apart now. Let's see him in the wall, please. Nope.
What I wanted to say earlier was, you can see how cracked Quiet Boy was last season. He had 217 points at the end, and Max has 163.
And you got to remember, it was a one race longer season, but Quiet Boy started the season off as well in a poor run of form. It only came to him at the end that he was able to do anything. So
yeah, because you told him to practice.
I told him one time, just practice for the races. Just do a couple laps, get a normal setup instead of a time trial one, and you'll be fine. And he did that.
Then he raped the entire field.
I mean, that is certainly a word that you could use for it. Max has officially clocked out of this race at this point. I don't think there's anything else we could say for it. The battle that only really is happening on the track right now is between Arbeng and John's boy. Two reserves racing for the Williams team. Honestly, I think Ferrari were kind of wishing that they had Arbeng and John's boy actually racing for them. Billy Wiz still struggling on his tyres. He might actually get caught by Real Gomez here. Just thoughts on that, ST?
I don't know what to say. If I can see anyone crashes out at the front, and Real Gomez gets a P4 or P3.
If Real Gomez scores good points in this race, then that is probably the moment of the season. Because Real Gomez, you've got to remember, came in round 11 of last season in Australia. Had some absolute abhorrent internet and caused everything to fall apart. Right, if we look at this season's standings, Real Gomez was disqualified in round 1, did not start 4 races, DNF'd his next one, was P13 in Australia, I believe it was, which is surprising. No, that was Zandvoort. In Australia, he was P10. In Singapore, he was P10. He didn't start in the following race of Mexico, and he's come here a new man, really. As Yari is actually closing towards the back of the field. What is he on? He's on a fresh medium. Setting some absolute pace. Fastest lap of the race for Yari, at least according to my track map. Which, you know, you can never tell if it's lying or not. The two Williams are ready for an absolute... Oh, wow. John's boy is ready for this not to be a ding-dong.
Real Gomez has wing damage.
No way.
Yes, wing damage.
He does. He's just hit that wall again as well. Just to rub in the wing damage to Billy Wiz.
End plate is missing.
I mean, look how easily clear John's boy is. He's got the DRS open. He's harvesting the battery because his teammate honestly has to as well. And up to P2 he goes, but with a lot more battery and maybe a little bit of a wobble on, but that's a worse wobble for his teammate on the mediums. Those mediums, not the most ideal race tyre, but here comes Ril Gomez. The battery management of an absolute wallaby. He has nothing in the tank, so he's not going to be able to make a move work. Ril Gomez, if you learn anything from this race, please get your battery in shape. And Orabeng has lost DRS to his teammate. Will John's boy be able to, in the next 3 laps, perchance, just, you know, gain 5 seconds to Max, overtake him, and then pull another 3? It's like 3 seconds a lap he has to do to Max. I don't think it's possible, but it's Formula Aero. Max could absolutely bottle it here. Ril Gomez is still majorly close to Billy Wiz, but again, he's just using his battery at all the wrong times. Like, the overtake mode's on, and maybe he'll go for it, but I don't see him getting a move done. Oh, it's looking from a bit of a mile back. Yari pulls into the pits and retires. Could have finished out the race. I'm sure I'm going to have a DM in about 5 seconds being like, shit race, I'm retiring from league racing, and then tomorrow he'll be like, should I do a race at this track? You know, just as he does.
Ril Gomez crashed into the back of Billy Wiz.
Yeah, because Billy's on... You gotta remember, Billy's on 13 lap old mediums here. Ril Gomez is on 7 lap old hards. Even with wing damage, that's an advantage for Ril Gomez. Billy Wiz, though, still has all the battery in the world. So, obviously, Billy Wiz just absolutely smoked Ril Gomez as soon as they get to the straight. Because look, DRS detection zone, and Ril Gomez is on 11% battery. A little bit later, Billy Wiz still has an absolute crap load of battery to deploy. And however much Ril Gomez has the bid he can use, it doesn't seem to be enough. He's not going to make a move here. Unless Billy Wiz makes a mistake. He's took a look up the inside. There's a little bit of nudging. And now, this is the chance for Ril Gomez. But Billy, again, he has all the battery in the world compared to Ril Gomez. So the move will have to wait. Lap 24 started for these two. And the leader, more crucially, who has looked very dominant, is actually coming through the final set. Oh no, that's Fozzie's. Sorry. And Ril Gomez actually clears Billy Wiz there. Billy still has about 3 decades more battery. But can Ril Gomez do anything in this middle sector now to pull away from Billy Wiz, and however much he has a battery disadvantage, go on to get the P5 in this race? He has it no matter what at this point. Fozzie's into the pits, onto a set of softs. I know what Fozzie's wants to do. Out of this left-hander comes Ril Gomez. He has that second to Billy, but Billy with a hell of a lot more battery to burn, but a hell of a lot worse tyres at the same time. On board, looking at that rear left, it's pretty grained up. Not looking very happy at all.
Need to go to Max, come on, last lap.
Well, we can't pay attention to those battles anymore, because it may not have been an absolute winning domination season for Max. It was a lot of podiums and decent point scoring results for him while he was racing. When he's not raced, things have gone quite well for his championship rival, but his championship rival has had an abomination of terrible races through the season. But there's nothing that can be said. Max, despite everything that could have gone against him, despite everything that could have caused him a problem this season, has managed to pull through and currently is taking through the middle sector of the Vegas street circuit under the lights, under the bridge that F1 blocked off in 2023 and everyone got mega raging about, and onto the strip. And what can we say other than it has been an absolute season for this VCARB driver, an absolute season for the VCARB team. He's already celebrating on the back straight. He knows it's over. He's known it's been over for a long time. He's just got a couple more corners to navigate to bring home what would only be his second win of the season But regardless of what he's done throughout the rest of the season, on track here in Vegas, he's not only going to win the race, but the title comes for him too. It is the win for Max in the V-Carb. And after what looked like a season that could have been a loss, he comes back to bring home the win, to bring home the championship. His teammate in P4 all but securing the championship for V-Carb alongside him. And everything about this race has gone right for him. He got away. He's led pretty much all the laps in this race apart from the pit stops. MH puts it in the wall before the start-finish line and doesn't finish. Jack Newcastle is going to come home P6 here. Absolute scenes from him. But we can't say anything other than Max is the champion here in Formula Aero. The champion that might not have been expected earlier on in the season, where he wasn't able to go and win every race consistently. But he has been such a consistent driver, and he's managed to do everything necessary. Billy Whiz, rear puncture on the final lap to end his
Fozzie's has
issues
done
here.
the Sonny Hayes crash.
No, Fozzie's has done the me and binned it across the line. We've
No,
got
he didn't crash on purpose.
interesting. But what a season it has been in Formula Aero. Max confirmed the champion at the end of this season in the V-Carb. V-Carb have secured the Constructors' title by an absolute landslide win over the rest. And we will be back in a little bit to give you some interviews from the championship winner. All right, we are back live after the race, and with us we have Max, the winner of our Drivers' Championship. So, Max, how are you feeling after that race?
Been good. Dominated those last two races to finish the championship off, which is nice. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I was saying during your final lap, this hasn't been your season in terms of absolute domination. You spent most of the time hanging around the podium places and then the mid to lower top 10. And it's only been these final two races that you've really managed to step it up and just win by absolute margins. So what was the difference really for these last two races, or was it just tracks that you enjoyed?
Well, I feel like two of the races I lost to a track limit penalty, so that didn't really help me. So I just focused on track limits for those last two races, which don't happen again. And yeah, pulled over the line.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, your first season racing here full time, and to bring home the double with your teammate must be absolutely amazing for you.
Yeah, it was really good. I feel like Gaffo didn't really have a teammate all season, so I feel like we were always going to win the constructors. It was just a matter of the drivers, really.
Yeah, so on the topic of Gaffo, obviously he missed the last race in Mexico, and he's had a rough time today. How do you think he's gonna feel after this? Do you think he would have won it if he'd not had these two races go the way it did?
Well, I feel like he raced in Mexico. I don't really know how good he is at Mexico, but I won by 15 seconds. So I feel like I could have won that if he did race. But Vegas, yeah, I feel like he got a bit unlucky there.
Yeah, but obviously we've now got a couple weeks between now and the start of next season. We will be starting in 2 weeks on the dot to today. Are you looking to hopefully bring this run of form towards the end of this season into the next one and potentially challenge again in what looks like it might be a bit of a stronger strength of field?
Yeah, I feel like next year is going to be a bit quicker. Sorry, so might not win the drivers next year, but we'll see.
You never know, Max. Well, congratulations once again. You have took home both championships in your first season in Formula Aero, and that is the end of today's stream. Expect something to come out over the next week regarding next season. We'll probably have a stream like last season for an end of season awards, drivers and constructors team announcements for the season as well. But for now, we will see you